Hey gang, welcome back to our channel. I'm Paul with StudPack. In our previous video, you watched Jordan and I install this TV in this niche. It came out epic, gang. We got cooling fans going on back here, keeping that thing cool. We even got a StudPack video playing right now. In fact, that's the day we visited the welding shop right around the corner to build a custom steel frame for this peninsula. Why did we need a custom steel frame? Because we extended this thing 3 feet out past the counters when originally it was only supposed to stick out about a foot. When we put the sub top on, the piece of plywood underneath, the owner saw that. They said, that'd be a great idea for our grandkids to sit down at. So we accommodated that and made this counter extend 3 feet. But now, gang, that custom steel frame just wasn't enough. There was a little play here. We wanted no play. So we just put a stick there to hold it, and that works great. It's nice and strong. But obviously that's not permanent. That thing's ugly. Now, I wasn't sure what to do, and I kind of sat on this for a while trying to figure out the perfect solution. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, so we reached out to a local sports company. They custom made a special piece of equipment just for this. It is ready. Let's head to the shop, pick it up.
The story of Marucci is as American as the game of baseball. See an opportunity, act quickly, risk everything.
This ball is crushed. Man, what a shot.
All right, gang, here it is. We went to Marucci Sports, picked up our Peninsula support, and you probably know what this is, but we're not gonna unbox it yet. A huge shout out to Marucci. They were super awesome to us, very gracious. We placed our order. In a matter of 2 days, they had this thing ready for us. And you know, I had never been in that place before, but there's a full store in there. They got batting cages. It is absolutely awesome.
And I'm really excited about this. This is epic because Marucci is actually the most popular used MLB baseball bat used by players Anthony Rizzo, Francisco Lindor, Buster Posey, to name a few. And they bought Victus. Victus has 18% about of the MLB player base using them, including Fernando Tatis Jr. So they almost have about 50% of players using their stuff. So this is really awesome that we get to have this piece of baseball stuff, equipment in our kitchen.
That is absolutely right. So a huge shout out again to Marucci Sports right here in Baton Rouge, homegrown company. And you may be wondering, why are we using a bat? Well, the gentleman that lives here coached high school baseball for many, many years, has many state championships under his belt, and we thought this would be a perfect compliment, a perfect tribute to all his years in the sport, and have a custom-made bat right here in his kitchen holding up the peninsula. So what do you say we open this thing up and take a look at it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Ooh. Dang, son.
Custom color, everything. That feels great. I haven't held a baseball bat in a long time. All right, this thing is absolutely beautiful. Like we said, we chose this gray color, custom made for us to pick up on the gray veining in the countertops. I'm ready to install it, but something just doesn't feel right, Jordan. I don't know what it is. I think it's because this thing's never seen any action. It's just out of the box.
Exactly.
It doesn't have any history.
We gotta baptize that thing, man.
We do. It'd be like putting a race car in a museum that's never been on a racetrack, right? I think we need to take this thing for a little BP.
I'm game.
And I know just the place.
What is that, man?
I'm trying my best.
Oh my,
We got a hurricane bearing down on us.
I can't get anything, man. We need some help out here.
Let's get some help.
All right, gang, we're here at Coach's home field. Super excited to be here, but you know what? Dad and I can't break this thing in easily. I mean, come on, look at us. You know, so we got two players here, Caleb and Jackson. They play for the team. We're super excited you guys are here. You're gonna help us break this thing in?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
let's throw some BP and see what they can do.
Awesome.
Hey. Yes, sir. All right, gang, that was absolutely awesome. These guys did what we absolutely couldn't do. Thank you guys, really appreciate it, man. You guys were awesome. Well, it just feels good to know that we were at the home field, and that was really appropriate. This thing is properly baptized, and it feels good, huh, Dad? It feels like it feels ready, right?
It's ready to go in.
It feel ready, now it feels primed and locked and loaded. And a huge thanks to Parkview Baptist for letting us come out and use their field. So let's head back to the site and put it in.
Heck yeah, man.
We'll cut it.
All right, we are back from BP. That was a lot of fun, and a huge shout out to all the players and coaches that made it happen. And don't worry about the bat. All those little scuff marks polished right off. You'll never know this went through some BP over there at that high school.
Well, you know what? It's got a little different touch. It's got a little different feel now.
Yeah, now it's got some history behind it. And its next story in its life is going to be holding up this counter. So how are we going to install it? Let's head down here and I'll show you how. So let's talk about our plan. First, the orientation. This is the barrel. This is the knob end. Everybody likes this way better. So we're going to put the barrel on the floor. And I don't want to see any hardware, not a plate, no screws, anything like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to drill a 1/4-inch hole in the end of the barrel right there. And I've got this 1/4-inch aluminum rod. We're going to put it in the hole and let it stick out past the barrel, 3/8, half an inch, something like that. We're going to come over here to the bat's new home, drill a 1/4-inch hole in our brand new floor, and then that pin will engage in the floor, locking it in, and it's not going anywhere. On the knob side, I've got this 1/8 by 1-inch aluminum bar. I'm going to cut a shorter piece, and we're going to screw it to the top of the knob like that. And then from underneath, we'll use 2 self-drilling screws into our steel support. But unfortunately, this bat is like 1/8 of an inch too long, so we need to make a deep notch in there to accommodate the plate and that structural steel. Let's head outside and figure out how we're gonna do that. All righty, gang, we are outside with our custom Marucci bat, and we need to machine this thing, gang. This is a beautiful bat. We cannot ruin it. We have to put a notch on one end and drill a hole on the other end. We don't have a lathe, we don't have a milling machine, and our challenge is to do all that with the tools we have on site. So we decided to start with the barrel end. The first thing we're gonna do is drill a 1/4-inch hole in the end of the barrel and put our pin in there, and then that pin is gonna sit in this 1/4-inch hole that we've already drilled in this 10 by 10-inch piece of plywood. Once we have the pin in the barrel end of the bat, we're gonna put it in that hole just like that, and you're gonna see how that helps us here in a minute. Let's do that first, and we'll go to the next step. All right, gang, that came out awesome. That was really easy with our big gator tool centering device. And the reason we were able to use this is because the end of the bat is machined square to the length of the bat. You saw it sitting on the ground by itself, so we used that to our advantage. Now the pin is in there. I'm gonna put it in that hole in the piece of plywood, and the bat's gonna sit there just like that. So now we've got the barrel end of the bat secure. Now our next challenge is to get the knob end of the bat secure. And we're gonna use the same piece of the 10 by 10 plywood. We're gonna cut a square hole in there that friction fits over the knob end. So let's make that jig. All right, gang, there's our jig. Now remember, the point of the jig is to hold the bat firmly, and then number 2, to give us a surface right here for our router to route the groove so it's square or perpendicular to the bat. Our next step is to route our groove for this plate. I'm going to use the plate as a guide for our two fences. We're going to center the plate on the knob, put these two pieces of plywood against the plate, fasten these to our jig, remove our plate, and we have a perfect cavity for our router bit to ride into.
Slick.
I'm gonna grab the drill and we're gonna screw these down.
Yeah. Look at that, man.
Beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie, my heart was beating so fast when we were just putting that in. I thought it was gonna split, man. Could you imagine?
No, I could not.
Ugh.
But all that without a lathe or a mill or anything.
Hey, shut your mouth.
All right, let's go drill a hole in that beautiful four lathe, bud.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, gang, we're back inside. Our next step is to solidify the location for our bat. So I've got my PLS5 dot laser set up. It's centered on the middle brace of our steel frame right here. So I've got a corresponding dot on the floor. I've already used my Sharpie. And I put a dot on that laser dot, and I put a dot on that laser dot. Now we can move our laser out of the way. And there's the location for the hole in our brand new floor. And there's the location for the center of the knob. So I've got my drill set up. Let's go ahead and drill a hole in our brand new floor. All right, gang, we got a hole drilled in the floor. Had to go a little bit into the concrete to accommodate the length of our pin. That's fine. We mark the steel right here. That's the outer perimeter, the outer border of this piece of aluminum. Now we just got to tap it in. I'm going to put it in the floor first. I'm there. Line it up top. And we just got to drive it that way until it's where we want it. Screw it to the steel.
Let's do it.
Easy. Look at that.
Two. Yeah. One more. Right there, perfect.
All right, gang, we are almost done. Now to secure this aluminum to the steel, I'm going to use these 5/16 hex drive self-drilling screws. Then we're going to pull them out and replace them with a flathead screw. The hardware store didn't have self-drilling flathead screws, so that's going to be how we do it. All right, these sheet metal screws did not want to chase the threads made by these screws, so we don't want to risk breaking one of these off in there. So I'm just going to put these back. I'll get the proper screw later and we'll finish that off. Alrighty, gang, that is not going anywhere. That is perfect, flawless execution. This is one of those days where I was sweating how this was gonna go. We could not screw up anything. We didn't, and it came out perfectly. And look, gang, it only took about half of my power tools to put that bat in. A couple things we're gonna do. Don't forget, we already talked about these screws. We'll change them out to flathead, and we may even paint that aluminum gold, huh, Jordan?
I think so.
Yep, and don't worry about that wire over there. That is ground fault protected. We're gonna put power strips all around here with some USB ports. So we're gonna wrap up this video. Can't say thank you enough to Marucci for providing this bat. That was awesome. So now that you know how to put a notch in the end of a bat, go ahead and do it. Take that bat, smash that like button, drop us a comment, ask a question, give us your own tips and tricks. Subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate that, and we'll see you on our next video.